hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Edwin Sunny's GK World. I am Edwin Sunny, making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use, so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
Architecture, purpose, and cultural significance. The Great Wall of China, a monument of history, defense, and civilization. The Great Wall of China is not a single continuous structure, but rather a remarkable series of walls and fortifications built over a span of more than 2,300 years. Its purpose was primarily defensive, to protect the agricultural heartlands of northern China from the raids and invasions of nomadic tribes from the steppes of Mongolia. Beyond its practical function, however, the wall became a powerful symbol of Chinese unity, strength, and endurance. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987, it remains one of the most iconic landmarks of human civilization. Early construction. Fragmented walls of the Warring States, 7th century BCE to 3rd century BCE. The story of the Great Wall begins in the 7th century BCE, when China was divided into small rival kingdoms. These states were constantly threatened not only by each other, but also by nomadic groups from the north, such as the Donghu and the Xiongnu. Chu State, one of the first to build defensive barriers. It created the so-called Square Wall, designed to protect its northern capital and territory. Qi State constructed large defensive embankments using rivers, hills, and man-made walls. The Qi Wall stretched to the Yellow Sea, built with tamped earth and stone. Yan State erected two defensive lines, the Northern Wall and the Yishui Wall, against nomadic threats in rival states like Qi and Zhao. Zhao, Wei, and Zheng states each developed their own wall systems, often using rammed earth technology. These fortifications were less about unifying China and more about regional defense. Thus, by the 4th century BCE, northern China was already a patchwork of defensive walls, which would later form the foundation for the imperial Great Wall. The Qin Dynasty, 221 to 206 BCE, first unification of the wall. When Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, unified the warring states in 221 BCE, he faced the challenge of securing his northern frontier from the fearsome Xiongnu. He ordered General Meng Tian to connect and extend the existing walls of Yan, Zhao, and Qin into a single defensive system. This created what was known as the 10,000 Wall, about 5,000 kilometers. The construction relied on rammed earth, stones, and forced labor. Millions of conscripted peasants, soldiers, and prisoners worked under harsh conditions. Countless lives were lost. Although this Qin Wall was monumental, it quickly fell into disrepair after the dynasty collapsed in 206 BCE. Still, Qin Shi Huang set the precedent for future dynasties to maintain and expand the wall. The Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, the Wall and the Silk Road. The Han Dynasty, especially under Emperor Wu, 141 to ACE, revived the wall to defend against the Xiongnu and to protect the emerging Silk Road trade network. Construction stretched westward across Gansu and Xinjiang, reaching as far as Lop Nur. New techniques included beacon towers every 5 li, about 2 kilometers, watchtowers every 10 li, and garrisons every 30 li. The wall not only provided security, but also regulated trade, migration, and taxation along the Silk Road. During this time, the wall became both a military barrier and an instrument of economic control. From the northern dynasties to the Yuan dynasty, 3rd to 14th century, over the next 1,000 years, different dynasties modified and repaired the wall depending on military needs. Northern Wei, 386 to 534 CE, built long stretches to defend against Rouran and Khitan tribes. Northern Qi 550 to 5577 CE carried out massive construction projects with over 1.8 million workers, extending the wall nearly 900 miles. Sui Dynasty 581 to 618 CE ordered 7 major repairs in less than 40 years. Tang Dynasty 618 to 907 CE largely abandoned the wall because China had expanded far beyond it and defeated the nomads militarily. Song Dynasty 60 to 1279 CE faced constant threats from the Liao and Jin, but lacked resources to fully restore the wall. Yuan Dynasty 1206 to 1368 CE. The Mongols controlled all of China and saw little use for the wall, though they maintained certain passes for commerce and rebellion control. By the end of the Yuan period, the wall was in ruins, awaiting its greatest reconstruction under the Ming. The Ming Dynasty 1368 to 1644, the wall we know today. When the Ming Dynasty came to power after expelling the Mongols, they faced the constant danger of renewed invasions. Thus, they launched the most ambitious rebuilding of the Great Wall. Materials and techniques. Unlike earlier dynasties that relied on rammed earth, the Ming used bricks, cut stone blocks, and mortar reinforced with sticky rice. This made the wall far stronger and more durable. Design. The wall averaged 23-26 feet, 7 to 8 meters high, with a width of 21 feet at the base and 19 feet at the top. Watchtowers, beacon towers, and fortified passes such as Zhuangguan and Shanhaiguan strengthened its defense. Strategic gates. Zhuyang Pass, near Beijing, was among the most crucial, protecting the capital from northern invaders. Dual walls. In many places, the Ming built inner and outer walls, creating layers of defense. It is estimated that over 8,000 miles, 13,000 kilometers of walls, including natural barriers, towers, and trenches, were maintained during the Ming. Much of what tourists see today, battling Mutianyu Scimitai, dates back to this era. Qing Dynasty, Qing 1644 to 1911, decline of the wall. The Manchu rulers of the Qing Dynasty did not emphasize the wall as much as the Ming. Instead, they followed a strategy of diplomatic integration and alliances with Mongols and Tibetans. As the empire expanded deep into Central Asia, the wall lost much of its military significance. It gradually decayed, though certain sections were repaired for local defense and symbolism. Has structure and features of the Great Wall. The wall was not simply a single barrier. It was a complex military system with several components. 1. Walls, constructed from local materials, tamped earth in deserts, stone in mountains, bricks near cities. Heights range from 15 to 30 feet, wide enough at the top for soldiers and horses. 2. Watchtowers, built at regular intervals for surveillance and signaling. 3. Beacon towers, used for communication through fire signals by night and smoke signals by day. 4. Passes and fortresses, strategic strongholds like Jiaiguan, the western end, and Shanhaiguan, the eastern end, known as First Pass Under Heaven. 5. Moats and ramps, added in some regions for extra protection. This integrated system allowed China to monitor movement, respond quickly to invasions, and regulate commerce. Purposes of the Great Wall. The wall served multiple roles across centuries. 1. Defense. Its primary function was to protect China from northern nomadic invasions, particularly from the Xiongnu, Mongols, and other steppe tribes. 2. Border control. Controlled immigration, and smuggling. It also allowed the Chinese Empire to collect tariffs on trade along the Silk Road. 3. Symbolic power. It projected Chinese authority, discipline, and the idea of a unified empire. Even when militarily less effective, it remained a psychological barrier. Cultural significance in mythology. The Great Wall has long been a symbol of Chinese culture. Legend. The story of Meng Jiangyu, whose tears collapsed a section of the wall when her husband died during construction, reflects both the suffering of the laborers and the human cost of the project. Symbolism. By the 20th century, the wall became a national icon, representing resilience and pride. Mao Zedong famously declared, "He who has not climbed the Great Wall is not a true hero." Tourism. Today, reconstructed sections like Badalin attract millions of visitors annually. Preservation and challenges. Despite its fame, large portions of the wall have eroded or disappeared due to natural weathering, neglect, and human destruction. During the 20th century, some villages dismantled wall sections to use bricks for houses. Since the 1980s, however, conservation efforts have increased. UNESCO Heritage 1987 gave it global recognition. Restoration projects at Mutianyu, Simitai, and Jiayuguan have revived major sections. Laws now protect the wall from further damage, though illegal construction and tourism pressures remain challenges. Conclusion. The Great Wall of China is far more than just an ancient barrier. It is a living chronicle of Chinese history, stretching across dynasties, cultures, and landscapes. Built through the sweat and sacrifice of millions, it embodies the themes of defense, unity, endurance, and identity. From its fragmented beginnings in the Warring States to the grandeur of the Ming Dynasty, the wall reflects the evolution of Chinese civilization. While it could not always stop invasions, it stood as a line of resistance, a regulator of trade, and a symbol of cultural pride. Today, the Great Wall continues to inspire awe as one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history. Standing on its ancient stones, one feels not only the weight of centuries, but also the...
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you loved this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe bell and like under this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.